and she went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, B?
Morning, guys. Everybody take a seat. Morning. Start.
She's a sweetheart.
She is.
She did a very good job.
Actually, I love a sparkle. How's everybody this morning?
Awesome.
Great. I want to hear how Shelly's daughter's doing. She's hanging in there.
She is hanging in there. She's having a rough day yesterday and today. So one hour at a time.
What's the time on recovery?
We go back Monday to the doctor to get a cast on and to get the stitches off, and then no weight bearing at all for 8 weeks, and then we're not sure past that. We'll get more information Monday, but he said it's probably before we've heard 3 months and 6 months, so we're not real sure at this moment.
Did she have one of those little scooters that
She's got one. Yep.
Get it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to keep Shelly in our prayers. So let's everybody take a breath here. Let's take off the silence on your cell phones, please. And we're going to watch a gratitude video here.
Football to basketball to track to breakdancing. That's what I did. It was the middle of the breakdance phenomenon, and I practiced like a fool.
Did you have a crew?
Oh yeah, I had a crew. It was all good. We were called the Big Man Breakers. Real original.
The Big Man Breakers.
It was real original. We were all pretty big. So
oh, that's great. What years is this? It's like,
oh, this was 86, 84. I mean, this is at the height, like
Electric
Boogaloo was out. You know what I mean?
Street.
Beat Street. It was hot.
The beat.
Yeah, it was hot.
Really? And did you just like do cardboard down and lay it down and go?
We had cardboard in the basement, man, and I would practice spinning on my head for hours. I mean, no girlfriends, nobody would even get near us.
Really?
Because they're like they're spinning. Could they stop spinning? We want to see some sprints right now.
Yeah.
Please stop spinning.
Did you have a go-to move?
I had the go-to move, which was the robot. Now, I have the best robot of all time. As I get older, the moves get more subtle because you're like, I'm hurting. That's right. Just the little touches. That's all you gotta do.
No, I love that. There's so much energy and so positive. How do you stay so positive and?
You know what? The key to energy. I get that asked a lot. I get that asked me a lot. But the key to energy is gratitude. It's truly gratitude. It's real. The more thankful you are, the more energy you get. Have you ever? I've been where I was ungrateful, and you literally feel the energy being sapped from you. You know what I mean? But once you find one thing to be grateful for, all of a sudden you get the energy to do things. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I am a statistic that didn't go by the statistics because a lot of my friends are in jail, a lot of my friends have died, a lot of my friends are no longer here, and I look, here I am, in front of the whole world, all the time, doing what I love, which is amazing. You can feel the energy. I feel happy, I feel joy, and that's for you too. Anybody in the world can find that.
So we can be grateful of our robot moves. That's right. I haven't done the robot in a while. I think I'm going to do that for sure on tape later.
Why wait? Do it now.
Why wait? Because I'm too shy. Okay, I want to move right into prayer requests. So I'm going to read you guys what I have. Benny Green's wife, Brenda, has a small tumor myeloma, if I say it right. She's going through chemotherapy now and asked that we pray for good results from blood work that was just taken. Edie Undermeyer has started physical therapy. She says her therapist is helping, and I think she's doing much better than she had done prior to the surgery. Hal Griffin has been in the office. He's looking good. He has days where he's tired, he has days where he's not, and he is basically going through his his radiation, and he has been scanned, I believe, this Friday. Who said this Friday he'll have another result. So he's going to get some good results on that. Lift him up in prayer, and then he'll keep recovering. Carolyn Baker's husband Roscoe is still in the cast, but he's able to walk now. He's got a walker, and they just want us to keep him in our prayers. Mickey Lyles, who had a stroke, is going through physical therapy. He's feeling good. He does still get tired, but he is just, I talked to him the other day, he's doing well. Jennifer Wheeler over there with the peeps. Any results anytime soon on your show?
Go Monday.
Go Monday for results. Well, keep
testing.
We're testing for new results, so keep Jennifer in your lift up your prayers. Marcia Anderson has been doing great. She finished 2 weeks of chemo, and she was having a rough time this time, and she'll get a break, and then she'll go for another scan. But she had some good results of her scan right before this, and then now she's doing some chemo to keep that going. So definitely praying for her. Shelley Faust, if you guys had heard, she had talked to me at the beginning of the meeting. Her daughter had fallen, had a bad fall. What are you going to say, off a horse? Mm-hmm. Had to have surgery, several breaks, pins, screws.
11 screws and 2 plates.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's basically laid up.
Yeah.
And then also your aunt is been diagnosed with
ovarian cancer. So she'll start to go into treatment. Yep.
And Shelley did tell me that it's treatable.
It's stage 4, but
Stage 4, but treatable.
he said there are different levels. Yes.
You know, right? My sister recovered from stage 4B, so
Yeah.
I believe in it.
We're hopeful. Yes.
And then Trish Ellis in Huntsville, we've got to remember to pray for her all the time. Her mom is young and most likely terminal, and I know they struggle, so I think about her pretty often. She's the receptionist in Huntsville. And who else? Anyone? TJ?
My hairdresser, her cancer, she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and her cancer was upgraded to stage 2, and they're worried that it's also spread to her lymph nodes, so it's looking worse, her situation, so she's stressing out about that.
Yeah. And let's pray for miracles. Anyone else that Allison?
My mom, her blood pressure has been out of control this last week, up to stroke level over 200. So we're trying to figure out what's happening, because normally she's 120 over 80 is perfection at 93. So
Your mom?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what's happening.
Okay. Anybody else? I know there's a lot of silent ones around the office that I hear sometimes, not to name it. So, Shelley, since you're here, do you mind?
Sure.
I'll let you lead prayer.
Well, God, we just thank you, first of all, for this day. Thank you for your amazing and unconditional love that you have for us, God. Thank you for your mercy that's new every morning. And God, all of these prayer requests and all of the things that we're going through can seem a little overwhelming, but you've made us a promise in your word that we can have peace of mind and peace of heart. We know that we're going to have trials and tribulations and things that go on in this world, but God, we thank you that you'll never leave us or forsake us. Help us to find that place of rest, that place of refuge, and park our minds and our hearts there, God. Thank you for all that you've done for us. Help us to remember on this week especially what Jesus, the ultimate sacrifice that Jesus made for us, God, that he was willing to lay down his life for us so that we could have eternal life. Thank you for forgiveness of our sins. Help us to just to remember and to keep that in mind this week. Thank you for all that you've done for us and all that you're going to do. We pray for all of these prayer requests, spoken and unspoken, and we ask for miracles, God. We ask for miracles, and we ask for grace to do the things that feel too hard And we thank you for being with us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, so let's go right now to our breakfast sponsor. We have yummy breakfast in here, and let's talk to Dukes.
Good morning. My name is James Duke. I'm with Duke's Home Inspections out of Huntsville. I just want to talk to you a few minutes about marketing. Every inspector should know how to inspect a home. He's licensed. He's taking the test. I don't write huge reports. I did a 1923 home yesterday, 22 pages. It needed some work, but you don't have to be an alarmist in this business. You don't have to write huge reports. There's guys that do it, so I don't understand it, but I just wanted to talk to you guys a minute about marketing for you. I know this is a big thing with all of us. We're all marketers first. We just happen to help people buy and sell their homes, right? But we're marketers first. So the way I look at working with you guys, if I can make you successful and make you look good to the client, you're going to keep referring me, right? So for you guys, I mean, we got our little rack cards, everything that we include in each inspection, we include warranties with ours. Something we can help our client after the sale, right? Also, it kind of protects us. We also offer a 18-month home warranty instead of a 1 year. It's still paid for by the seller most of the time at closing, so it just turns in 18 months instead of a 1 year. We carry referral insurance, or I carry referral insurance on my general liability. Trick is very aware of this. I've talked to Mike Malloy, he's the head attorney. He's the one that told me. So in other words, if you refer me to a customer and for whatever reason, they want to sue me down the road and they want to try to drag you into it, that keeps you out of it. Not only that, if through internet we're talking affiliated nationally, if you are ever successfully sued, they will cover you $10,000 because you work with me. Not only that, if we have one that's just, and I've had a few, I'm at 110 for this year. I'll do my 110th inspection today. I'm at 1,200 inspections in less than 4 years. I have had at least one a year that are just, you can't make them happy. They want to sue you, and they haven't done it yet. Because I put the firewalls up to protect me, to protect you. Well, why would I do all this for you? Because you do send me work, right? One hand washes the other. We're a small business group. We have to help each other to be successful, right? So we do a lot of things for you. We help you market, and you can call us and talk to us about that. No charge to you. It's just because you use us. We appreciate that. So you can go on our website, Duke'sHomeInspections.com, and you can see all of this. You can call me anytime. Even if you don't use me, put me in your phone. If you got a question, you're showing a home, and a customer says, what is this, and you don't know, let's call Duke and find out. Or take a picture of it, send it to me. A lot of agents do that. They'll take a picture and say, James, is this a concern? And I'll text you back. I answer my phone. If I'm in an attic or on a roof, I will answer my phone if I can get to it. So I'm big on customer service. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I work both sides of the fence. I do the listing and sellers. So, and all the pre-inspections, all the warranties transfer to the seller that they get to give them to the buyer coming in. So that's a big deal too. It helps you market your business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all enjoy it.
So guys, next time you have a listing, talk to him about a pre-inspection and how that would work, which you can transfer over to your buyers, right? Okay, so let's do Gateway Mortgage. Happy Esty in the house.
Good morning. Kathy Esty, Gateway Mortgage. We're in-house lender. Thank you guys first of all for the opportunity to be here. I'm honored to work with each and every one of you. I did want to mention one thing that's kind of coming across my desk more and more, and that is that I'm getting more transactions from you guys to help you save your deals after you send them to another lender, or maybe they came in with another lender and blew up or had a problem, or maybe that particular loan officer didn't know how to overcome an obstacle. And one of the great things about being a seasoned loan officer is we've done a lot of it, we know most of it, and we can tell you up front. So it's a lot of stress for you guys and for your sellers and your buyers, obviously, whenever the deals are blowing up and their particular lender doesn't know how to maybe solve a problem. So I would definitely say that, you know, give us an opportunity to help you fix it first, or to send your buyer to us first so that we can help you avoid maybe transactional delays or problems later into the loan process. So please keep us in mind. We'd love to help you on your all your buyers, and we appreciate the business you're sending us.
Thank you. Were you trying to say something?
I was gonna say, since Donna's not here, let me talk for a second.
Come on up.
Okay, this is as much a broker thing as a title company thing. If you've not sold manufactured housing before, might be a good idea to find out how to do it. Because some of them have wheels and you can drive them off and some don't. And you've got to know the difference, and you've got to know how to handle the title work based on the circumstances. You can sell them both ways, but you can only sell how many with wheels a year? Anybody know?
How many with wheels per year can
Yeah.
you sell?
Because of the rules, you need to find that out, and then you need to find out how to handle it title-wise. Okay?
We need a class on that.
Well, or, yeah, or come see us or whatever, but let's be sure we had one that sold back in October that the lady didn't get title to the home. She paid $90,000 for a $10,000 lot. So we're in the process of trying to get the title company that closed it to straighten out what happened.
Is that because it was on wheels?
Well, no, they had moved it, and this is another thing I wanted to ask Kathy about. They had moved it, they had taken all that off, they had added on to it, but never changed the title. And according to what we found in Austin, the house is located on a street in Huntsville, when in fact it's out in some lake subdivision.
Oh, wow.
So, anyway, Kathy, can you do mortgages once the home has been moved from one place to another?
Those are really, really tough, and they're really on a case-by-case basis, because it depends on how they were titled, I guess, from the initial move onto the land. So, you know, manufactured housing, we love them. We do them with 5% down. We do FHA, we do VA. But you definitely need, especially if you're listing them, to come and talk to us, because there are a lot of things that if we can start the process ahead of it, whether it's conveying the title and kind of pulling it all together with the title company, the answer is yes, we can do them, but they can only be moved once. And if they didn't do it properly from the manufacturer to the actual site that it's at, that counts as the one time.
Okay, so one more question. What about the add-on?
The add-ons are tough. What you find with them is then you've got a hybrid property, basically. So you've got a manufactured house with a structure added to it, and that really isn't classified as real property, or property that can be classified as real property. And I would say that those are very, very challenging to get done. Again, you know, I always take the approach of how can we do it and what can we do, because sometimes we can appraise the home without the add-on. So it depends on how creative we can be, how it's done, how it was recorded, and how it was, if it's in the county versus in the city, how the permits were done, if there were any permits done. So there's not a one-size-fits-all to that answer, but probability is no.
Okay.
And does it have to be a double wide luxury?
It does have to be a luxurious double wide for us.
Okay.
This was a single wide this lady didn't get.
Well, if you guys have been around along, anytime you see a mobile home or manufactured home, one of your first questions, is it single wide or double wide? Can we get financing on it? Is it affixed to the land? Has it been moved? These are some kind of experience questions. If you're listing it, I always had somebody in the file who would be able to get financing on it for somebody that calls that's interested. So there's a little research needed. And really on listings, guys, are you doing some due diligence research before you throw them up on MLS anyway, right? Talking to someone at the title company and making sure that they're sellable.
And Anna, there's a number on the back of that manufactured home that's needed as well.
Right, and your title company would help you to know that. So we're just giving you real world things we see out there. Oh, going the wrong way. Okay, Rhonda, stand up. Rhonda's over here helping me facilitate team meeting today. Rhonda is your agent services. Have you guys all met her?
Yes.
Yes, you all met her. If you haven't met her, go by and say hello to her. Rhonda, what do you do?
What do I do here? What don't I do?
Good answer, we got her trained.
Really well. So,
Glad to be here, y'all.
you know, get her number, get her email, all of that, so you can contact her if you need stuff, and she'll point you in the right direction. And welcome aboard to her leadership staff. Okay, so did you guys know that you have a transaction coordinator in the office? Yes, you know that. What's her name? Tiffany Hewitt. So if you guys are do not have your templates set up, show of hands, who has their templates set up? They can easily just hop in and do a contract anytime. So if you did not raise your hand, I'm going to suggest that you get with Tiffany and get your template set up so that on the fly you can easily go do contracts, and as the contracts change. And what she is, she's a third-party person. She's not an employee of Keller Williams, and she can do your contract to close should you want her to and get paid at closing. So she's somebody to leverage your time, which a lot of times you guys will either need more leads or need more time, you know, what it is that you need. So we want to have her there for that when you get busy. Seller's Shield, who knows what it is? Besides her. Matt, what do you say?
Well, it's just where the sellers can go online, fill out the seller's disclosure. They ensure that it's done completely, and they also offer, you know, insurance for the seller. You know, should there be, you know, something that's false on it.
It's basically seller's disclosure system and insurance, so that the seller is protected against anything from that disclosure coming over to a lawsuit later, right? So in your systems here, you're going to, every time you list a house, send the seller's shield information to them so that they have that option that they can fill out the seller's disclosure, and it gives them legal protection. So anybody that does not realize that we have that, that's integrated into your systems now. Okay?
Is it .loop?
It's not affiliated with .loop. It'll be filled out, and then once it's filled out, you'll get it. You can see when the client's doing it, and then stick it over into your loop.
Where will I get this to send to them?
You will get this from us. Where will they get this?
You should have received a username and password
Yeah.
from Seller's Shield directly. You did not let it. Rhonda know. It was an email, right? It was in an email.
Yeah.
I would search your emails.
It's crazy that you have to read those things.
I didn't know who it was necessarily.
Well, how about we send out some instructions so that you guys are clear on where to find it, what it is. Try it out next time you list a house. Ask us if you have any questions, and then you'll see how easy it is and how nice it is and why you want to use it.
Does it cost the sellers anything?
It costs the sellers if they want the insurance. It costs you nothing. And the sellers don't have to do it.
It's
Just
just a
do.
suggestion.
It's like basically legal protection for them. Kind of like whenever you do travel insurance or you do insurance on anything.
And
Is it
then,
worth it?
what is it, 90% of the lawsuits filed?
Or go with that.
Or, well, 90% of them are due to seller's disclosure.
That makes sense.
And see, you guys as E&O doesn't cover your seller. So your seller can be out money, say they didn't remember or forgot or something with the house, and who gets sued? Usually them. And then you get along in with it, and you don't want it for any of them, right? So it's a great service that we found for them. Okay, so your leadership council, you've got career development. Donna Story, so she had the career development meeting, I believe, last week. She is always looking for input from you guys on what kind of training you want. If there's something that you feel that you would clear your calendar to come and you just wish that we would have that training, let her know and we'll do our best to bring it to you. Brian Richardson on the growth committee, he's really involved in helping the office grow, bring market share to us, help grow you guys' profit share trees, as am I. And he's gonna do a class this week on your DISC personality tests and your KPAs, and that just helps you behavioral style to understand how to work with your clients better. So come see him on his class this week. For my culture committee, we've got Stephanie Miller and Shelley Faust, and we're gonna be talking about Red Day. So I'm gonna turn the room over right now and let you guys tell us what's going on for our annual charity event. Stephanie, do you wanna?
Well, Shelley loves to talk. I do love to talk.
You guys come tell us
Yeah.
and introduce your
We'll come up here with you. You have to listen.
Did you help balance her?
Yeah, yeah. I did have to call her last night and catch up on what's going on because I've been a little MIA. So thank you for picking up the slack and the rest of our committee. We have a lot of people who have stepped up and who are just doing a lot of things and have their hands in everything that's going on, so we appreciate that. I don't know.
You're here.
Oh, okay, okay. I have not met them, so I was like, I think that's them in the back. So we, for Red Day, we are partnering with
Battle Cry Ministries.
Battle Cry Ministries. And they have they're going to come up and, you want to go ahead and bring them up?
Yeah.
Why don't y'all go ahead and come up? So they're going to share a little bit about their ministry and the projects that we're going to be doing. So Red Day is May the 9th, as you know. We have passed around a sign-up sheet. If you have not signed up and you are available May 9th, we would be so grateful if you would put your name on there. This is just a general sign-up sheet. Matt Malk and I are going to set aside Friday. I'm going to talk to you guys about that. We would like to go actually take a look at the 3 projects that we're going to be working on, and we'll have a list of specific things. So generally there are things like, I think there are 2 widows homes that need some house cleaning, some yard work, some things like that. But again, we're going to get some specific things, and I'm really excited about that because the Bible talks about taking care of widows, and we really are going to get to be the hands and feet of Jesus. So that's exciting to me. And then there's also a bus that
Being converted into like a jungle gym.
Yes.
yeah, so there are a couple of, so those are some of the things that we have going on. And again, so if you could sign up, if you know that you're available for May the 9th and you want to help, please sign up on that, because we're going to go from that list and we'll send out some specific areas that you can work in or volunteer your time in, and get you signed up for that, or let you choose what you want to do on that day. And we'll have, if you can only do 1 hour or 2 hours, we'll have time slots you can sign up for. I think we're going to do like 9 to 4 is what we're going to set aside. If you could be there the whole day, that would be awesome. We have t-shirts that can, or is it too late to order t-shirts? Okay.
Yesterday was the last day.
Yesterday was the last day to order t-shirts, so if you didn't get a Red Day t-shirt, buy a red t-shirt. If you're gonna come and help, that would, we could at least all be color coordinated. I have mine from last year. I have an extra one also. I think I have 2 in my closet, so if anyone needs one. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna meet, we'll get all of the rest of the details for you by Monday, Friday. We're gonna get a list together, Matt and I will. And so by Monday, we'll have a very detailed plan to send out to you guys with some more instructions, so that we can get some clarity on that, as far as like where to meet, what exactly we're doing, breakfast, lunch, sponsors and things like that. So introduce yourselves and tell us what you do, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. So my name is Homer Allison. This is my wife Robin, and oh gosh, a long time ago, 2001, we started Battle Cry Ministries. Prior to that, I was a student pastor and she was a children's pastor at Gateway Baptist Church in Spring. And now through Battle Cry, we've also planted a church in Magnolia called Servanthood Fellowship, just right behind Magnolia High School. And within that, where our church worships, is a building called the Epicenter. The Epicenter is the headquarters for Battle Cry Ministries, and the ministry is very, very broad. We travel the world and preach the gospel and do missions throughout the world and all of that, but one of the important things to us Scripture tells us to go into Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the outer edge of the world. I'm an order of operations person. I believe that that says it that way because our very first ministry should be our Jerusalem. And if we're going to the outer edges of the world without ministering to our Jerusalem, we're out of order. And therefore, we have built a facility that, through the grace of God, really, with Hurricane Harvey hitting, we were just getting ready to kick off what we call mission encounters. And Hurricane Harvey hit, and we waived all of our fees, and we ended up housing 2,700 volunteers from across the United States. And mucked out 160 homes in Montgomery County, built back 47 homes, and completely built back 13 homes from ground up. Two of the widows that we're going to be serving on this day are two of our homeowners that we met through this disaster. We were going to do a third widow, but the project is huge, and I don't think that we could finish that in a day. And so I've got teams coming in this summer, and those teams will head up that project. Let's see. Can you think of
Tell them a
anything?
little bit about the widows. We have two ladies. One is, I'll tell them about Miss
Sure.
Miss LaBelle, and she is, gosh, how old is she?
70 something.
Precious little woman, about this tall. She's been a school teacher up until this last year. She has throat cancer that she's dealing with, but I think that's doing better. So we rebuilt her house almost completely. It wasn't completely destroyed, but enough that she could not live there. So what you guys will be doing is going into her house that is completely redone, but she'll be helping do some yard work that we weren't able to get to in August when we completed the inside of the home. So y'all will go out there and mow or weed eat or cut bushes back or whatever needs to be done. And if she has any other small projects within the house, you guys would help her with that as well.
And she'll probably have watermelon. That's generally
Or something.
her MO. And don't let her 4'3" frame fool you. She, when we first rolled up onto her property, she had a sign that was spray painted that said, "You loot, I shoot."
I'm kidding.
And I've seen her shoot water moccasins out of her pond, so she can use a shotgun. So just announce yourself. Miss Patricia is homebound. She lives on a large piece of property. We caught wind of her through someone else who told someone else, and that's just the way it kind of went. And she's got a large piece of property. Whoever goes on that, I'll be actually going with you. I've got a zero-turn mower, and we'll use push mowers to mow around perimeters. And then I'll mow the open area because it's a very, very large piece of property. And then the school bus, and again, be prepared. You know, Miss Patricia, she does not necessarily like people to come into her home. She's been very private, but she lets people come into her home to use the restroom, and then you can't get out of her home because she'll talk to you forever because it's lonely. It's very lonely. And so you'll have an opportunity to work, but also you'll have an opportunity to love. And that's really what it's all about. It's not about works. It really is about love. And then at our property at the Epicenter, we've developed a campground called the Wilderness. It's a 12-site campground. We've had groups up to 280 come and camp out there with us. And it's just, we've opened it free of charge. It's a donation-based campground. We don't charge any money. We're just trying to get families an opportunity to unplug, get away from the rat race just for a minute. And Domino's does deliver to our picnic area. And so one thing that we're doing, we have an old school bus that used to run our students around all over Texas and Louisiana and do ministry. And it's just past its prime, so to speak. So instead of scrapping it off, we moved it to our picnic area, and we're creating a jungle gym. We've already cut out openings for a slide and a rock climbing wall and a little footbridge, and just for kids to be able to go in there and play and use their imaginations and their minds. And ultimately, right now, we're sanding it and priming it. And ultimately, it's going to be painted with the blue sky and clouds and all sorts of butterflies and whatnot. Something that will make a kid sprint to go and play on a school bus and just have fun. And our campground, we didn't quite realize the level of ministry that it's been, but we've actually been blessed to be able to see 4 different sets of homeless people from from homelessness into a home that have camped out with us. 2 of them were families with children under 8. And it's been pretty remarkable to see. We've got a shower house and a restroom facility and all that stuff out there, so it makes it really, really nice for people to come camp and still be able to get a shower. But that's a little bit about our ministry. It's so comprehensive, honestly don't have time to really explain it all right now. Here's what I do know. If you take the time to do this and join in with us and pay attention to the parameters of what to bring and what to do and where to be, here's what I do know, and this is what I promise everyone and anyone that comes from wherever they come around the world. We will not waste your time. We will make sure that you do not waste your time. And we will have a solid plan ready, and if that plan backfires, we'll have 4 more teed up ready for you to just swing for the fences. And we do encourage that when you do come on that day, even the night before, set your mind off yourself. Set your mind on something way bigger than you, and that is to serve. And I've heard Christ has been mentioned in this room several times, so let me just springboard off of that to close. Jesus himself said, I did not come to this earth to be served, but to serve, giving my life as a ransom for many. None of us in this room are going to have to lay our life down, necessarily, possibly, for the kingdom, yet we can certainly live our life that we do have at least one day out of the year. So anyhow, thanks for having us come, and we look forward to leading you guys through this. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, what I think we'll be doing, I have a red day sign-in sheet, so I'm just going to pass this around, and if you know you're going, sign up. It gives us an idea of what to do. I'll see if I can find somebody to start us out with breakfast. We'll all go, did they say 9 a.m.?
Yes, 9 to 4.
So we'll all go meet at 9 at the facility, and then we'll see what projects we're going to break off to. I'll regroup and do a little lunch with burgers or hot dogs, something like that, like we did last year. And you guys can come and go to the projects as you want to and need to. So we'll get you more details. Anybody else have anything Red Day-ish to discuss?
Just let us know what we need to bring.
Yeah.
You know.
If you need tools or
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll have a list. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know that's a big deal to us all each year, so look forward to that. Let me see if I can go here.
And where is this?
It's in Magnolia.
Magnolia.
So
we'll be
our
in Magnolia,
facility
is that
is
correct?
located behind Magnolia High School, off of 1488. And then one of the work projects will be also in Magnolia, probably about 20 miles west of our facility. The other project is going to be east, probably another 30 minutes east
From our facility.
from our facility.
What's the address?
Yes.
We'll get all that information
Yeah.
for you.
Now, with the information, we'll get the projects, we'll see how many people are needed at projects, we'll meet up and then spread out, come back, spread out, you know, we'll help you figure it out. Okay? All right, I'm gonna do some welcome new agents. This is Pamela Barrett. I've got Darlene Hafner, so welcome you guys to, as you see these agents around the office. Adriana, how do I say Adriana right here? DeRajo. Yes. Pat Keegan, I think I did see Pat here.
On here. And I'm here.
Yes, hello. Pamela Weir. And Janet Helgoff. Welcome, 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 you guys. Be around to let them answer questions. Okay, so camping agent Jessica Preuss. First closing, Heath Wilson. First listing, Michael Huff. First listing, Callie Fry. I thought it was interesting when to see the people having babies and having listings at the same time. Agent of the week, she just snuck out. And she's been doing a lot of stuff to get all that Red Day act together. So thank her for her servant leadership and on the ALC. Okay, I want to buzz through a few awards. I like to tell you guys, you know, let's appreciate each other for what we do in March. Some companies don't do all year. So here is your Triple Crown. Now, regarding my Triple Crown, I'm not doing a Triple Crown formal lunch this quarter. I'm going to tie it in with your crawfish broil. So we're going to do Triple Crown at the crawfish event, and I'll explain more as we go. Here is the Triple Crowns. Those who have done over 3 units in 1 month. Frankie team 9. Story team 4. Cambridge team 3.2. Sellers Realty Group 3. Lady of the Lake team 9. King team 7. Hofstra Home Group 6. Frank Oliveris 5. Shirley Faust 4. Teresa Scheib 4. Cheryl Golden 4. Kirby Leonard 3. Lori Kent 3. What about your name here? I like it when all of you are Triple Crown with me.
The picture of Lori Kent.
Kirby.
Hey!
And we've got Housing Comic Relief, right? 2019 listing volume. Sellers Home Group, 4,504,000. 4,500,000. Lady of the Lake, 3 million. Lori Kent, her correct picture, 9. This is last month's number, March number. Listing units, that's right. Story team 6. Kane team 7. Scheib 5. Closed volume, Frankie team 2.2 million. Lady of the Lake 1.5 million. Total house 668,000. Guys, what I do is group, team, individual, right? Closed units. Frankie team 9 units. Lady of the Lake team 9. Frank Oliveris 5. It's a good March. Closed volume over 1 million. I always wanted to do that. Frankie team 2.2 million. Homebridge 1.1 million. Sellers Realty Group 3.7 million. Lady of the Lake 2.2 million. Those are their closes. In March, good month, right? Listing volume. So these are, they gotta list them before they can sell them, right? Sellers Group 4.5 million. Story team 1.5 million. Frankie team 1.1 million. Lady of the Lake 3.136 billion. Kane team 1.5 million. Richardson Group 1.3 million. So this is their listing volume last month, right? It's over 1 million. Rookie of the month, Mr. Matthew Mulk. And put that on our prayer request because he gets a little bit shy, but he just had a surgery yesterday on his arm. I talked to him, he's doing well. He's gonna not be able to use his, shoulder. He's gonna get a shoulder surgery. So don't tell him I said so, but keep him in your prayers.
He is.
He's watching on Facebook.
He probably is.
Yeah. He was taking one of the classes from the hospital bed before he was an agent. So that's the kind of work ethic that guy has. He was like, "Can I stream in from the hospital bed?" I said, "Did your doctor say that's okay?" He said, yeah. Okay, so I want to do a video about affirmations. If you guys come to a fun lab, and as I talk about, what we struggle with and what holds us back, you guys will get some of this in bold for those of you that are taking bold this go round. Affirmations to me is a tough one. I don't quite have it. I'd love help and input on it. And we have a video. Let's listen to this. This is from Ninja.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen in the Ninja Nation, where we talk about all things ninja all the time. And yes, it is another day in paradise, if we choose to see it that way. I encourage you to keep up the morning routine. It's very powerful. So now let's talk about your next affirmation. We are about 70 days from your installation, and you might be ready for the next idea. There is no harm in continuing the financial affirmation you wrote in the installation, but let's examine what you might do next. As we recall, affirmations are first a remodeling tool. We're remodeling our current programming. We love the real estate analogy because it seems fitting. The two keys to understanding why affirmations work are to remember that your non-conscious believes what it is told repeatedly, over and over. That's why we want to be very careful about our self-talk. Just be keenly aware that anything you say about yourself repeatedly is being taken completely seriously by your non-conscious. Remember, your non-conscious can't take a joke, it doesn't get irony. Which really leads me to part 2. Your non-conscious cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is a lie, or what is vividly imagined. This is the key to why we essentially do have to lie to our non-conscious when we write an affirmation. First person, present tense, as if it had already happened. This is the second part of understanding why this really works. So, where to look for your next affirmation? The best place to go looking for a new affirmation is as follows. You know how sometimes you might be sitting with a friend, having coffee or a cocktail, and then somewhere in the conversation, either you or your friend casually says, you know what my problem is? Whatever follows that lead-in is the right place to look for your next affirmation. Let me give you an example. You might say something like, my problem is that I am so disorganized that I can never figure out what to do next. It might almost be a passing comment, but that is where the gold is. Now let's take that sentence that you just said, and here's how to write that in the form of an affirmation. I, Peter Parnay, accept that I am organized, focused, and clear on my next steps. As you can see, we just took the problem and told your non-conscious to believe a completely different story. A great affirmation should feel almost difficult to write because it is completely contrary to what your current programming is. Remember we said, does not fit program. This was a super quick look at a really important topic. If you want more information, download the document below and it'll expand on what I've just shared with you. As always, yours on the Ninja Pad. Have a fantastic week and we'll see you next Monday.
Okay, so does anyone in the room have some success on their affirmations? Anyone in the room doing them? Teresa, you do them?
I try to do them every morning.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
So give an example of what
I wake up in a good mood and I thank God every morning I'm alive. And I just try to at least, you know, just, I may not do them so verbal like this, but I don't write them down, which I probably should write them down. I do affirmations. I make my day like it's, even if I have a problem during the day, you know, it just makes you feel better and you just go fix it and go on to the next thing.
I have an aha right then that my problem is, and turn that into an affirmation. I hadn't really thought of it that way before. I'm going to practice that this week. Anybody let me have permission to send you my affirmation? Yeah. Okay. Click on our masterminds and on our discussions. Let's see what goes on with that. I know it's part of our Ninja 9 and I just don't 100% have it. And when you guys are in the bold room, give some thought to that as well. So bold step 2, starting on next week on April 23rd. So there were several of you that went to bold, several of you signed up. I thought it was a little bit of a high pressure sales day. And then they had to get to 40 and they did. I heard they're at 42 or something. That'll be in the Woodlands for bold. Well, what she said is if there was people who either didn't make it or still wanted to join, they're releasing new content this bold, so if you feel like, oh, I've already taken it, she did send us some nice messages about what they're actually implementing in this round. And so you certainly could still go to step 2, decide if it's for you, and sign up. It's not too late, so she told me to let you know. And then those of you who are in bold, I think there's 8 or 9 of us, I'm going to bring you some special things through the upcoming weeks to merge this with some of your other systems. Really kick it up using this content in there. So I think bold is life-changing. Oh, those of you who say bold's not for me, what is for you then? Let's go there.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we supposed to go that day and get the binder, or are we supposed to get it? No.
They'll give it to you that day.
Okay.
You'll show up and it'll be there.
Okay.
So who knows what the 66-day challenge is? Everybody raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand. Who knows what the 66-day challenge is? Who can explain it? Who knows what the 66-day challenge is? Okay, TJ's saying she can explain it.
Well, and it, you know, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I thought it was
You're
correct. Where every day for 66 days you watch a short, like, kind of clip of like 2-minute video or whatever explaining like one aspect of command.
Yes.
So that you can kind of get to know all parts and systems and how to do things. Helps break down a complex system into like daily things you can do, so it's not so overwhelming.
Very good definition. Here's the deal, guys. And I've told you this before, but I'm just going to tell you again. So Gary Keller wrote a book called The One Thing. And in that book, he talks about how to get everything you want out of life. And it's a kind of a time blocking book. And he found through years of research that in order to put a new habit in your life, it takes 66 days. So we had heard before in other research that it was 21 days. And what they found, because they studied it for years, was that it was actually 66 days. So if you do something for 66 days consecutively and purposefully, you'll develop that habit. So I use an example, like I didn't used to have the habit of checking my phone every 1 second, right? I got in the habit of doing that. And now I'm in the habit of doing it, and it's hard for me not to have that. Well, I didn't have that habit for years. And so any habit you have now, at some point you develop the habit, good or bad. So just because of the content that Gary found there, somebody smarter than me, one of the team leaders, created a 66-day challenge. It's just part of our language. 66 videos, 1 per day. That if you did this for 66 days in a row, you would have a great understanding of what's going on in command. Now you don't just watch the 2-minute video, you actually log onto your command and look at it at the same time. Why is command going to change your life? And if you watch the 2-minute video and then you go on your command and look, and then you'll be like, oh, okay. And then the next day, oh, that's not so bad. Like literally should take you 5 minutes a day. And if you want the entire 66-day spreadsheet, I asked Earl yesterday to post the whole thing. We're posting the 1-a-day videos. So like for me, I went down the spreadsheet and I said day 1, and it was 4 minutes. And I was like, all right, I've logged in. Then I went day 2. You know, like at one time I did 4. And then I was like, okay, I'm out for today. So I'm gonna always be an explorer that goes ahead of the today's, that's just me. They're already up there, there's all 66. And then as they change, they're changing them on there, so it's not like it's outdated. And then as you guys come into your command training and feel overwhelmed, that's the idea, is for you to not feel overwhelmed as it releases. Why am I doing it? What does it do? Some of my agents have said, man, we're so busy, we don't have time to adopt something right now. My advice is to check it out, and then you'll most likely want to, because it's a game changer for your business. Like for you guys that are in bold, if you're in bold and you're having to get the contacts that you have to get during bold, or if you're doing 50 contacts a week, which is what a lot of us do 50 contacts into your command database. Where will you be 2 months from now? It's really a great time to combine these. Any questions?
So you said Earl has it up there for us?
I had Earl post it on the intranet and pin it to the top.
Yep.
We're also posting them on the Facebook group where you can see them there. Okay.
Yep.
Now let me go over a few calendar events coming on. So you've got dot loop and green sheets. Any of you who don't have templates up, who are still struggling with dot loop, who don't realize some of the forums have changed, hop in there and make sure that's all ready for when you get slammed this summer.
It's Wednesday, not Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Wednesday,
April 17th.
on Wednesday, April 17th.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow on Wednesday. Okay. I started a Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book Club, and I started last week. Was anybody there on the book club?
I couldn't hear it.
I didn't hear you.
You could hear the Zoom?
I could not hear it. It said I was logged in, it showed me up there, it showed one other person, and it kind of, she went away pretty quickly.
Okay, so what I was trying to do, and will continue doing, is a Zoom Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book Club. I think it's a 15 session before you're done with the book. Lots of you asked me for it and asked me for it and asked me for it. I want you to be able to do it, be it in your pajamas at home and listen in. And also we'll have it here in the training room facilitated by somebody. My idea is that we'll be able to not have to drive to the office and be in the office. You can have a recording and listen to it later. So I tried my first one last week to see if I can get that to you, and I will. And it'll be Thursdays, 8:30 to 9. Do you guys have a Millionaire Real Estate Agent book? Yes. Dust it off on your shelf. If you don't have one, grab one from me. I will give you one as a present. Okay? And then we'll go through the book and we'll have some conversations along the way. Then you have all your ninja training. So for Thursday, this one, it's really the first one where I'm going to talk about content.
Will you be here?
I will not be here. I will be on the Zoom.
Oh. But
Okay.
the Zoom's gonna be in here too, or?
Yes.
So is it just my problem that I could not get on there?
I don't know. I'll work on that to make sure. I think it was just your problem.
So we still come here?
Come here if you want to and or from your computer. It's your choice.
Well, we're gonna be here at the 9 o'clock.
You're gonna be here in the room and you'll get to see me either in person or on the Zoom. Okay?
So somebody else said.
Somebody will be here. Somebody will have it set up in the room and it will be fantastic. Read the book. Your skills group's closing questions. Where are you guys on your closing questions? This is wrapping up this round of Ninja series, which was a 16-week course, and it will be starting over again next month. This is session 15, closing questions. The principle number 3, Ninja business strategy.
April 4th.
The dates are a little mixy-uppy.
I'm going to say April 18th.
Claire catching all of it.
Sorry. Thursday, April 18th, Ninja skills. Okay, rolling over that one. No, this Thursday. Sorry, sweat. Okay, Gateway Mortgage is doing a lunch and learn. She didn't say necessarily what she was gatewaying, but I find those lunch and learns are very beneficial. So come in and get some ideas on what's going on the loan stuff. This is where I told you Brian is doing a DISC. Anybody in here taking your DISC training? So we haven't done it in a while, and I think it's one of the best content we have in the company. I'm very well trained on it, so I think that'll be a fun class to come to. And it really starts with yourself. You can take your capabilities as well, and then it takes you to how to deal with your clients. Jane and I were talking about that the other day. Your ALC Growth Committee meeting, that'll be right afterward at 2 o'clock. You've got Easter holiday, we're closed. You guys know that? Friday we will not be open. Okay, just making sure I'm getting right. Never in your referrals. So all of you who are either doing Ninja, I've told you this before, Ninja, Bold, Never Any Referrals. They're all three meshed together and or they can be separate. Never Any Referrals is a paid for MAPS, Mastery Coaching class that we bring to you for free. Session 3, which will be Monday, is the business to business and social media for your database. This is all database all the time. So if you already have all of your business to business contacts in your database, you know, mesh these things with command right now. It can be done in 8 weeks. Just telling you. That one is basically dividing your database into letter groups. You guys take your phone out right now. Take your phone. I did this in Lounge Fun Group this morning. Open up your contacts. Scroll down to the very bottom and tell me how many contacts are in your phone.
860.
860.
That's better than one.
615. 1,284.
3423.
1,800.
Oh, God. And 3423 in my phone.
How many?
3423.
3423.
All my friends.
Do you know how many house sales are in that? In that, right? So what if you just put all the B's and E's, which is this week, into your command and sent them a message? I don't know how many B's and E's are in a 3,000 person database.
So that's why it takes too long.
Start with 10. Just trying to get you guys into actions.
Oh, there it is.
All right, so they do have this prayer group meeting on Mondays. In case you guys don't know that, that's coming. Mark Wachowski's heading that up. The language of real estate, I do like to briefly tell you guys. You know, I don't want to. I always feel like each week, am I telling you too often how much you're outpacing the rest of the board? Your listing sold, your closed units, as you saw how much we do per month. For you guys, what does that mean? There's a lot of things that you could market with that. How do you take this and market with it? Okay? The outpacing the competition, this is northeast, which is kind of Willis area. And this is also northeast. This is in units and volume.
Are you doing 39 and 19 or just 19?
Here's 39. That first one was 19. So this is just your brokerage next to the other one. So is this in your listing presentation? Do you know how to grab it and put it into your listing presentation? Are you able to understand what market share means to your individual business? So let's go back to your, let's see what I have.
I would not know how to grab that.
It's in the intranet, you guys, updated each month.
How would you present it, like in a listing presentation?
I would have it be in the why work with me. So I usually start broad and say, here's Keller Williams. Most people don't pick an agent for their brokerage. However, we dominate the market in our area. We have more signs, more agents looking at your property, helping market your property. So to me, especially as a new agent, when I haven't sold everything myself, I use this at every level for myself, these slides. It's just as you go through your listing presentation and your marketing plan, what I do is why work with Keller Williams, then why work with me as an agent. Then we're going to go into pricing. My marketing as an agent and then to the pricing. So as you go into the pricing conversation, you guys should have all these, should have one on your desk, right?
Yeah.
And I talked to you guys about these because how is the market? So this one is area 39.
19.
Mine says Northwest.
Well, up there
I
it
got
says.
39. I think everybody's got one different.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, area 39. So you guys can pull this easy. You guys know how to pull these, right? So this is when I pulled area 39. And in March for area 39, my sweet spot is 160 to 500, right? That's the bulk of the sales. You see the ones above 500,000, we have had some. We're in the spring. It's looking a little better than it did last month. Your year over year, your market is down in March about 3.8% from last year this same time. Okay? You had a little bit of a rough January, February had some recovery, and now you're still a little bit down. Go to the numbers of sold, same information, about 3.8 down. Your for sale, more inventory. Your median price, up a tiny bit. Price per sale, about the same. Price per square foot, up about 5%. That's pretty good. Your days on market, what's this say days on market are down? It's taking a little less time to sell than it did this time last year. And your month supply, right around that 5. About the same as last year. What does that mean, Cindy? I just like to pick on Cindy. It's a pretty neutral market. How's the market in area 39? You're going to say it's pretty neutral. It's still a seller's market. Your days on market are still, depending on the price range, around 60 days. Inventory is about the same. So this is something you take on your listing presentation to start the pricing conversation. What if they're out of range? Here, Allison.
Oh,
Sorry, I wasn't answering that
Oh.
question. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were asking a question.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
So you asked earlier, and I'm gonna be the one in the room that says, I do not know how to get to this. Am I going to KWstats.com?
Go to kwstats.com. You put your username and password that you would use in MLS.
Oh, okay.
Your MLS password, and you can pull any area.
Okay.
Okay? And then instead of where it says Ruth Smith, it'll have your name and your brand.
Okay, thank you.
So like say I'm gonna go list a house. I'm gonna grab a couple of these things from my listing presentation. I'm gonna have this in there, and then I'm obviously gonna go down to the market level of the neighborhood. This is more of an overview of the area than the neighborhood. Your marketing plan, why work with me, right? And then now with Command, if you guys don't get that yet, it's gonna be a neighborhood specific link for them so they can watch their own neighborhoods. And that is why you're gonna integrate that in. Because what do they want down to their neighborhood? This is more of an overview of the MLS area. Okay? But mainly I want you to know that the rest of the market is in a shift. They are talking about us going towards a shift. We watch those numbers all the time. That's the slide that I showed before this one. So if I help you guys communicate, if somebody says, seems like the market's changing, well up here it's not really changing. We're still in a very strong market. We can watch all year long and we would know in advance if it was changing. Rest of the country it is. So let's say they have a house to sell in such and such state. They very well could be in a shift there. Because of oil and because of our Houston economy, we are okay with growth up in this area. The biggest shift I think we will see is eventually new construction will catch up with demand. So be real clear on your new construction inventory. You can be in hubs of buyers markets if there's too much construction going on in one specific neighborhood. Okay?
There's still a lot of construction going on.
A lot of construction going on, and yet we're still in a
But they're
neutral market.
selling like crazy.
Yes, yes. The market is strong.
Yes, selling like crazy.
Okay, guys, that is it. Have a great week. You've got a big virtual tour coming, so have a good day.
That's all they,
Here, I'll grab her one.
which one? Yeah, I think so.
Did you sign one for
No, just handwrite it. They're gonna pull them up here. And they're the agent.
Yeah, now I gotta turn this one off that everybody kept walking by.